Happy New Year, everyone! Everyone's setting New Year's resolutions at this time of year. If you have an autistic child or an otherwise differently wired child, goals are likely to be a big feature in your lives. You've got therapy goals, family goals, personal goals as a parent. The list goes on and on and on. Before we go any further, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what we've achieved this year, what Dexter's achieved this year, because it has been a big year for him. So he turned 4 this year, he turned 4 in November, and yeah, we've achieved some big things. So let's have a recap. This year, Dexter has been much more willing to be involved. He has wanted to be part of things a lot more. He has wanted to participate and follow directions a lot more than he did the last year. In the main, this isn't due to anything we've done. I think that's just part of his natural brain development. He's older, you know, his attention span is naturally longer, as you would expect with a neurotypical child. We have, and this is probably definitely the biggest thing that happened this year, we have gone from very limited communication, I'm talking like pointing at the odd picture, the odd inconsistent signing, to full, deliberate, consistent use of his AAC device. Now I am going to do a separate video on our AAC journey so far, but we were able to get high-tech AAC up and running for approximately £250. It wasn't expensive, it took a lot of time and effort on our part, but my goodness, it's been so worth it. He has just taken to it. It has literally given him a voice, and he's gone from that very limited communication in the beginning to full sentences on his device, and now he's starting to develop language on it that we haven't even modelled for him. I no longer have to continually put food and snacks and drinks in front of him to see if he's hungry or thirsty. I know that if he wants a drink, he will come with his device and ask me. Another big thing we've achieved this year has been potty training. We're not fully there yet, and I'm not going to go into too much detail because I want to respect Dexter's privacy. But yes, so much potty training success that I was not even expecting for this year. Dexter this year moved to his preschool room in his nursery setting that he's been at since he was 16 months old, but he moved to his preschool room with his amazing one-to-one who has helped him access this very mainstream setting. Every day I hear about something new that he's done. That has been incredible for his development. Also this year, Mark and I made a schooling decision for Dexter. Dexter will start school in September next year. We had to submit all of the paperwork, all of the reports for his educational health care plan, which will get him the funding that we need for his schooling. Next year's going to be a big year for that, but we made the first step. In terms of things I've achieved as Dexter's mum this year, I have fully engaged with the autistic community and listened to what autistic people have to say about autism, because to me it makes perfect sense. The people that are going to know most about autism are the people who are autistic. This year also marks the year that I have fully accepted and embraced Dexter's differences, and not only learned to accept them, but learned to celebrate them. And finally, the other thing I achieved as a parent this year was launching this channel and setting up the Facebook support group and hearing all of your stories there and connecting with you. If you are looking for people to connect with in your similar situation, or if you want to connect with me, please go and join us on Facebook. I will link the name here. Next year is going to be a big year for Dexter, but before I go into the goals that we are setting for him and for us as a family, I wanted to show you a video that I found on my phone from the year 2017 going into 2018. I was kind of drunk, by the way. So we're talking to ourselves in a year's time.
Yes, hello.
What are your hopes for this time next year?
The biggest one is hopefully Dexter's progressed, hasn't he?
Oh my god, so at this moment in time, Dexter doesn't say any clear words. I feel like sometimes he tries to say some
Yeah.
words. Do you?
Definitely interested.
Is
And
it just
wants to.
it's not just me, is it? He's
No,
trying.
other people would
He's
agree.
trying. Oh god, I hope he's saying like, oh my god, what a number I said today, like if he says 20 single, if he says 20 single words, I will be made up by this time next year. If he says none, what are you going to do if he says no words?
Well, it was understandably
It'll be
better.
3.
Yeah.
It'll be 3. Like, okay, I'll cry. That's the frustrating thing. He understands what we say.
Yeah.
By the time we watch this, it'll be 2019.
God, yeah.
Happy 2019, fan mark.
Like, Happy New
Hope
Year.
you're both alive.
Yeah.
Yay!
Everyone else. Time capsule.
Wow. Can you see how all of my goals were focused around speech? At that point, I hadn't realised that speech and communication were 2 completely different things. I think it's really obvious that I'm struggling with Dexter's differences, that I am looking at autism in a completely wrong way. Also, when I look back at that, I realise it wasn't words that I was craving at all. It was connection, it was interaction. I wanted shared experiences with him, and I thought speech equated to all of those things, and they absolutely do not. What I've learned over the years is when setting goals for your child, or for any situation, I think there are 3 things you need to bear in mind. 1, that you don't set too many goals and overwhelm yourself, because that's easy to do and that's something I've done throughout my whole life. 2, the goals need to actually be achievable. For example, when I go back to the video and I was talking about speech and how many words I wanted Dexter to have, that wasn't even achievable. His brain wasn't there yet. He's still not a verbal communicator. He might never be a verbal communicator. That might just not be the way his brain is wired, but he can communicate. And communication was an achievable goal that I didn't set. I focused on speech. And 3, this is the most important thing to consider when you're setting goals, that you have a clear pathway and plan to achieving that goal. There's no point saying, I want my son to have 5 words by the end of the year, and then not having a path for how you're going to get there. I would also say that any goals that you set should be separate to any therapy goals. Just keep them separate. Now I want to quickly talk about the goals that I set last year, so 2018 going into 2019. By this point it was quite clear that I had done a lot of learning and unlearning in the previous year, and my mindset had completely changed. In that year, I had realised that the voices on autism that carry the most credibility weren't always necessarily giving out the right messages, and I had essentially learned to take information from a variety of sources and think for myself, and not to internalise the negative messages and thought processes of others. So here were my goals for last year. So 1 was to choose a school for him or narrow it down to a couple of options. Done. The second one was to establish a non-verbal communication system like PECS or a speech app, or even signing that he uses daily and consistently. Done. Achieved. The third one, and you can see even last year I was still quite focused on this speech thing. The third one was to have some spontaneous speech by the end of the year. Where is he with speech? He is actually getting loads better at these word approximations, but he really doesn't use them to communicate, and he doesn't use them consistently. It's just not the means of communication for him right now, and I need to let go of it. And I think I have. In the last few months, I really have let go of speech as a goal. If it happens, it happens, and if it doesn't, we've got this amazing world of technology at our feet that will help him communicate. It's mainly more of the same. So we want to nail potty training, properly nail potty training. We would like to focus more on proper two-way play. Because we want him to get enjoyment from him, I'm not going to force him to engage in activities he's not interested in. If we can find more games and two-way activities that you know, he gets joy from, that'd be fantastic. Oh, I totally forgot, he learned to jump this year. That's a huge one. I never said that. He learned to jump. But we are focusing more on gross motor skills next year, so he's just started taking an interest in like a scooter and a balance bike. It's only a fleeting interest, but we're thinking maybe we can work on that a bit more next year. And finally, I have a personal goal for next year, and that's when Dex is out and about, he is a vocal stimmer. He will hum or squeal or, you know, make unusual vocal sounds, particularly when he's excited, and they're loud. And I want to get comfortable with being out and about and him stimming and having people look and brushing it off. And not feel like I have to explain him, not feel like I have to make him do it quieter or take him away from the situation. So tell me, what are your goals going into this year? I really want to know. Please leave them below in the comments. I'm hoping to be able to put out loads more videos in 2020. I have so many plans, so many collaborations planned coming up that I'm excited about. But if in between videos you're interested in seeing more of our family or hearing more of me ramble on, please join us over on Instagram. Thank you so much for the support this year. I hope you will have a great 2020.